Glad to have you back, and now it's time to go into the discussion segment for today. It's an interesting conversation. Trust me, we'd like to share your thoughts on our live chat below and also on all our social media platforms. Now, musical instruments have been used since earliest times for a variety of purposes, ranging from the entertainment of concerts, audiences, to the accompaniment of dancing, work, and more. There are hundreds of different kinds of musical instruments, from drums to horns to string instruments. What are the roles these musical instruments play in music production? And to answer that question, we have with us Mercy Sax right here in the studio. Good morning, Mercy Sax, and thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
How are you?
I'm actually going to play.
All right, Mercy Sax, you have an intriguing voice, I must say. Is it the product of you playing the saxophone? I know there's this voice training that comes from it.
Well, actually, I can say it's kind of natural because it has been there since when I was younger, but building up on it, so kind of, yeah.
All right, now we're talking about musical instruments. Now let's talk about the saxophone. So what's the role of saxophone in, of course, it's musical instrument for entertainment, so what's the role of a saxophone in itself?
Okay, well, actually at first, saxophone, it's a wound instrument.
Okay.
And it's majorly classified into 4 parts. We have the alto sax, the soprano sax, tenor sax, and the baritone sax.
Alto sax, soprano sax, tenor sax, and the baritone sax.
Yeah, exactly. So majorly I play 3. So I play the alto sax, which is the one I have here, and soprano sax and the tenor sax. It's the one commonly used here in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah. And also generally, saxophone is also known as a soloing instrument. Yeah, so most times it's used to lead maybe a group of people to worship, or it's used to lead a social gathering to an event. Do you understand?
Okay, let's delve, to the basics, the genesis, as it said. How did the love for, music come about? How much more, playing musical instruments?
Well, I can say music has been an ancient thing, and it's a thing that keeps getting better over the years. So, and I think saxophone was actually created by someone, Adolphe Saxophone. So that's the name of the person. So he named the sax after his own name.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think saxophone generally has been getting better since the creation. So that's just it.
I think it's about you now, your love for music. How is it innate, or you had to just you didn't mention that your voice is something that was natural. So the love for music, did you decide, or you just grew up loving music and decided to choose, of all musical instruments, to choose the saxophone?
Well, actually, my journey into film music, I started playing drums.
Okay.
Yeah. So from there, I learned keyboard when I was in primary school. So from there, I learned this. I picked up the saxophone personally, and due to the fact that I had some basics on music, so I was able to learn some things personally on my own on the saxophone, and as time went on, then I looked up to some people, and I got more knowledge on the saxophone.
So you prefer the saxophone over the keyboard and the drums?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel it's the saxophone has actually helped me to get better, like generally, because I was not taught. So I feel I was not taught this instrument, and at least to some extent I went this far. So I feel it's a kind of instrument that has helped me to discover myself, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about the saxophone, before we delve into its importance within musical composition, can you just tell the layman out there watching the various components of a saxophone and the importance of, those parts?
Okay, one very essential part of the saxophone, apart from the body that we do see, is the reed, which is the wooden thing that it's been attached to it. And so it's the wooden reed that helps us to blow air into the sax. And
You can show us from the instrument.
okay, there's no
itself.
problem. Yeah. So this is a wooden.
Oh, it's made of wood.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It
This
doesn't
part.
seem like, okay.
Yeah, it's the wooden part, and we have the ligature that holds the wood alongside to the. Also, we have the mouthpiece.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is mouthpiece, this is the reed, and this is the ligature. So the ligature holds the reed alongside with the mouthpiece, and now we have the neck.
Okay.
And so these are the keys. These are the keys. All these ones. These are the keys. And we have the side keys, and this is the bell on the sax. So it's most times it's used for clipping mics to the saxophone. So those are just mainly the basics.
The basics.
Yeah. So we have the octave key, like to go up on an
High
octave.
notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
To be altissimos on saxophone. So I think these are the basic
Key
keys.
parts.
Parts. Yeah.
of-
sorry,
of the
parts of the
saxophone. Okay.
saxophone. Yeah.
So let's talk about the importance now. Every musical instrument, be it stringed or non-string, has a role to play within the entire music production. For saxophone, what major part does it play? You've mentioned alto sax, tenor sax, and the rest of them. So what major role does saxophone play within the music production itself?
Okay, we can say in the origin of saxophone is being used by all these jazz players.
Okay.
So basically, it was being used in jazz compositions. So as you know, as things began to progress and the saxophone, everything came down to Nigeria. So people used it as a kind of instrument ministering to people,
Okay.
like leading people to worship and all that, and also maybe playing in social gatherings and surprise birthdays and all that.
Yeah, I was coming to that. Now, aside the ministration, the saxophone plays the usual in,
Yeah.
to set the mood, set the tone. And there was a time that saxophones were in vogue because everyone wants to doing
Yeah.
birthdays, engagement.
Para.
They say,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So I'm looking at the economical value at that point. I know saxophonists, I had a friend who was saxophonist then. I know every weekend, it seemed like
Yeah, exactly.
he had somewhere to,
function.
sometimes it was
Yeah.
more than once in a week.
Yeah.
More in a weekend. He's here today, there tomorrow, and
yeah, exactly.
making so much money. So let's talk about the economical aspect. I'm interested in this part, the money making aspect of the saxophone, or
Well,
being a saxophonist.
Okay, well, actually, the thing
Don't
about
lie, you be honest.
well, actually, your location determines a lot.
Oh,
A lot.
location.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you are not in a place whereby you're surrounded with people that knows the value of what you play and that can actually pay for the value of what you play, you might only get the kind of financial grade of what people in other location get. So I think what actually determines the economic value is actually your location.
Location.
Yeah,
Location.
exactly.
Is it, people want, everyone like good music. People
Yeah.
are surrounded, and about the part of the surprise. A lot of people at some point, so everyone wanted to use a saxophone in Ibadan, in Abuja, in Lagos, in Ondo. Everyone wanted. So at that point, was it about location still?
Yeah, but okay. The thing is, some people might actually want a very good music, but might really have the fund to get
Okay.
the good music. Do you understand? So, and in that kind of scenario, you just have to bring your price down for them to be able to have the kind of music they want. Do you understand? And whereby people in other better locations are getting more than you in that kind of location.
But generally, what's the economic value of being a saxophonist? Generally, aside from, okay, in someone who is in a good location, what's the economic value of being a saxophonist?
There are lots to it. One, you get to meet people that
Matter?
yeah,
They're
exactly.
influential.
Yeah, exactly. You get to meet influential people with ease. You understand? And you too, as time goes on, you get recognized and you get value in the society generally. So I think